Good morning and many blessings here from Reiko, P. Blackheart, and my Sunday detox. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your energy protector or your neighborhood friendly witch, depending on which way you're going to go with it. If you're following me on IG or if you follow me here just on, my lovely podcast. Today we are going to be talking about treating yourself, and it's one of my favorite subjects because I am the famous, well, I'm not famous, but I'm one of those people that constantly say treat yourself. I know we hear it a lot on a lot of sitcoms nowadays, as well as you see it on memes. I definitely am a huge supporter on treating yourself and protecting your energy, because the best way to protect your energy is to be able to treat yourself and know what to do and don't do in order for you to love other people. Now, the reason why I'm picking this subject right before Valentine's Day is because in order for you to treat someone else, you gotta be able to treat yourself. Basically, in order for you to love someone else or display love for someone else, you will need to love yourself. I mean, honestly, it is just basic rocket science if you do not know it. And know that basically you can't really love yourself, then who else will? So if you can't love yourself, then who else will? Now, what you got to do is you got to just take in mind and consideration that with the commercial holiday coming up, I know your mindset's probably going to be like, hey, I need to worry more about my partner, my spouse, this, that, and the other, or the person I'm really talking to. But in all actuality, you kind of still need to take time in order to actually appreciate yourself and love yourself, because we're going to be basically jumping through hoops and possibly facing depression if you are single this time during Valentine's Day, or if you have one of those partners that compete with other, partners or other couples. But like, well, Susan got an engagement ring. What about me? It shouldn't take Valentine's Day for you to tell somebody that you love them, but 365 days, you still have to take time to love yourself. Now, doing little things to make yourself happy is just the generalized good way to boost your self-esteem and also your general mood, protect your energy, as well as make you enjoy life and make you loving other people just 100 times better. Because when you're in a good mood and you start doing things for other people, it shows. And I mean, you're probably sitting down like, what do you mean by treat yourself? I don't have the extra money to do so. You don't have to really have money to treat yourself. You can literally treat yourself for little to nothing. You can literally take time, meditate, go on to your Netflix or Hulu and just sit down and binge watch on your shows and catch up real quick. Wake up, drink your favorite cup of coffee. There's literally endless possibilities what you can do to treat yourself. Take 5 minutes out. Tell yourself how amazing you are and how great you are. Be your own spokesperson. Be your own motivator. 5 minutes. It doesn't take much. You can do a little staycation at home in your onesie or your with your fuzzy slippers if you or don't want people to know about your shame, because hell, I mean, I'm that way. You need to do so in order to live a fulfillment or life. You can sit down and look at your achievements. Sit down and set some goals. Write yourself a letter. Give yourself a gift of just a couple of moments, or at least a moment of treat yourself, because there's nothing wrong with gifting yourself. It should not make you feel guilty for taking a moment and wanting to do something for yourself. Now, I understand a lot of people out here, they're like, well, I got kids, I got, a partner, I can't do nothing without doing anything for them. Honestly, I'm going to tell you like this. In order for you to provide for your kids, you also got to be happy, because even if you may not think your mood doesn't affect your child, your mood definitely affects your child. If you are not in a good mood, your children can see that. So you still have to take time and make yourself happy. Now, I'm not going to tell you, oh, go out and go buy you some sneakers and don't worry about buying your kids no sneakers. I'm going to be 100% like this. If you buy yourself some new shoes, make sure you buy your kids some new shoes. That's just how I think. That's my logic. Because you got to represent You represent the people in your life. You represent the people who matter in your life. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your children. So that's why I'm always a purveyor, or I'm a advocate for treating yourself, because you do represent these people in your life. And if you are upset and you're depressed, it reflects. So what you want to go ahead and do is you got to give yourself a little bit when it comes down to giving to others. So give yourself something. You can sit here and enjoy a snack that's already in your house if you don't want to spend no money. Cook yourself a meal. Go outside, get some fresh air. Climb on that tree. You may not be able to, but, go ahead to. You thinking about it. You're like, I haven't climbed trees since I was a kid. Go ahead and do it. Go for a hike. Go for a run. Go to the gym. If you live in an apartment, I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, there's a gym that's included. So go ahead and go. Give yourself a manicure or pedicure if you can't afford to go and get one yourself. And guys, that includes you. You can do it too. You can give yourself a manicure or pedicure, because honestly, a man who is groomed and take care of their hands and their feet is a beautiful thing. A guy, that means you care enough about your body that you want to take care of it. It does not make you less of a man for wanting to have a manicure or pedicure. Honestly, a lot of women actually probably find that more attractive than y'all may know. Make plans for the weekend. Make plans for your time off. Instead of just sitting here saying, nah, I'm just going to fill it up with more stuff to do, make time for times on your time off. And I mean, give yourself permission to hang out with other people. Go ahead and do things that you been saying you wanted to do. Like if you say, hey, I wanted to go bowling, and you haven't been bowling in a minute, but you keep making excuses, or you keep filling up your time and taking away from what you wanted to do, give yourself some time to go out and do those things. Treat yourself to those things that you want to do. It doesn't take too much. Tidy up your workspace. And when I go into tidying up workspace or tidying up your household, it reminds me of my dad. My dad, every single Sunday, both my dad and my grandmother used to sit here and will blast music. And it's a generation thing. At first, I didn't understand why my dad used to do it every Sunday. But now as I got older, I understand and I respect it. He used to every Sunday blast music before everybody else was up. Like me and my siblings, we would all be asleep. And he would start blasting music. And he didn't even care if we were asleep or not. But it's a Sunday, so it's not even a school day. So he didn't care. He blasting the music, cleaning up the house, and everybody else got to get up now and got to clean. We weren't allowed to start eating no breakfast or anything until we had that house clean. And then he'll turn around and go wash his car. Because guess what? That was my dad's version of his self-care. That was him treating himself. And he made me realize that was his way of dealing with his anxiety, his depression, and him sitting here and taking care of himself. Because my grandmother kind of instilled in him that cleanliness was the equivalent or closeness to godliness. So he sat here, and that's how he dealt with his issues, was making sure the house was clean and taking time to clean it out and making sure things were organized. There'd be some times my dad would reorganize the entire house, and we just sitting here like, dang, the couch done got moved 3 times in 4 months. What's going on? But then me and my siblings, we didn't even care too much. We just kind of got accustomed to it. We didn't think too much on it. But then the more you think about it, that was his way of taking care of himself. And he made us take care of ourselves that way too. He kind of instilled it in us. So music will be blasting. I can't even clean up the house without music blasting. I think both me and my siblings the same way, where we have to fold up clothes now with music playing. Because we're just so conditioned to it now. But that's just it. And it makes it easier, makes it a good transition. And I'm one of those people, I'll be jamming as I'm folding up clothes, which would normally take me about a normal person, 5-10 minutes to fold up some clothes. It's taking me 20 because I done sat here and started dancing as I'm folding up clothes. But you know what? It makes it easy. It makes it happy. It's a moment for me. And it makes me enjoy it. So I'm putting these clothes up as I'm dancing to music. And that's something that's for me. That's self-care. Now, like I said, it doesn't take too much. You can do anything. Take yourself out on a date. There's nothing wrong with going to the movies by yourself. There's nothing wrong with taking yourself out to eat. Go to a pet store. Go look at the animals. Sit here and spend time with your animal if you have a fur baby at home. I have one. I used to have two. And I used to come home and just sit here and just cuddle with my animals. Or I'll go to the pet store and be like, man, I really want another pet. I don't need another one, but I really want one. And sit there and just play with them. And it brought me joy. Going to the museum on the free days. Learning something. Going to a bookstore. You ain't even got to buy a book. I can sit there at the bookstore for hours. I went to New York and I think I spent almost 4 hours in Barnes & Noble looking at books with my sister. And that was joy for me. Because that was what I needed. The smell of books is a new thing for me. I love it. And it's not something really major. It doesn't take too much of anything. You can take a nap. Actually, I feel like people, as we get older, we don't appreciate naps like we did when we were kids. But naps is good too. Take a moment. Reset your battery. Take a nap. Or you could be like those people who sit here and drink some coffee, take a quick 30-minute nap to recharge yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. I used to work overnight at one of my jobs, and me and one of my coworkers always used to, because we had an hour break, I used to be like, man, I'm about to go take a nap. I'm going to take a 45-minute nap. And I used to love those 45-minute naps. Those are my best. It was just great because that was a moment of me to de-stress and treat myself while I was at work. You know, another thing you can do, and I mean, honestly, I feel like a lot of other people don't realize this. I used to write short stories. I used to get into the habit of writing in my my notebook. I used to sit here. I actually still to this day, I actually write in my phone, in my note, because I have a Samsung Note, and I'll sit here and write poems down. I'll jot poems down that come to my mind, and I'll use those moments to create and do things that is outside the box, and write down my thoughts, write down what I want to do, write down the plans that I have, who I want to hang out with. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think about all the things that I can go ahead and do that will make me happy and make me feel great. It's nothing wrong with wanting to treat yourself. And I feel like a lot of people have gotten to that mindset that we can't sit here and treat ourselves, but we need to make it a norm, because honestly, in order for us to be able to treat somebody else good or treat somebody well or love somebody else, we have to be able to take those moments, to take those time out. Do something that's going to make you happy. Like, for me, I can tell you exactly what I do. I sit down and I meditate. I drink water. I walk. I spend time with my animals. Once a month, I go get my nails done. And if y'all are on my IG, or if you follow my nail technician, Anastasia, every single month, like clockwork, every 3 weeks, I go get my nails done. And when I tell you that is therapy for me, that is therapy. That is where I go, and I literally tell my job, I got therapy. They don't need to know where I'm going, but that is literally my therapy. They can't tell me anything else, because that is what I do. That is where I go and de-stress. And honestly, guys don't realize it, but them going to the barbershop is almost therapy for them. That is a form of therapy. That is a form of self-care. So you appreciate those little moments. So like I said, I go get my nails done, and occasionally I'll go get my hair done. And when I go get my hair done, them sitting here washing my hair, braiding it up, playing around in it, that is also therapy too for me. And when I was in a relationship and I was happy, me scratching like my partner's back or their head, that's therapy to me too. I do that to my cat now because that's all that I have to do. But for me, that's a form of therapy. I don't know what it is about it, but I just love playing in someone's hair and scratching on their back. That's just me. I'm weird. It's how I work. And then there's some days I sit here and I play video games. I take just a couple hours out and I just sit here and just game. I stream on my Twitch. And I just have conversations. Like, I don't even do anything major. I literally have conversations while I'm gaming. And that's my form of like therapy. I sit here and also run myself a bubble bath and light some candles. And I do that at least 2 to 3 times a week. Instead of taking a regular shower, I would sit here and take a bath. And in the bath, Like I sit here and play music, and I sit here and burn some candles, and I zone out. I enjoy, I embrace the moment, and just let every ounce of stress in my body leave. And I just enjoy it. Everything just goes quiet in my brain. Everything just goes still. Nothing else exists but that moment. Because that is my therapy. That's my space. Because self-care is the best care and self-love is the best love. Because who's going to love you more than yourself? Taking those moments. Taking those considerations. You ain't gotta do much to make yourself happy. Go down the beach. Go on a hike to the woods. Take a run. Ride a bike. Go to the gym. Listen to music. Drink your favorite coffee. And even if you don't want to do all that, hang out with some friends that you haven't hung out with in a minute. With the people that you love. The ones that you can sit here and watch really cheesy romantic comedies with on Netflix and say how horrible and trash they are. And even then, you can sit here and watch some foreign ones with subtitles and say, now we all know this isn't realistic. Learn a new language. Take time. And there's nothing wrong with that. And even then, if you want to go and spend some money because you want to go buy those pair of shoes that you want to go buy, go do it. You can go ahead. Now, if you have kids and you're one of those people like, man, I don't want to go buy no shoes unless I can buy my child no shoes. You know what? Income tax time is coming. Buy you and your child some shoes. Treat you and your child. Because at the end of the day, you are the representation of everybody else in your life. The people that you have around you is the 5%. In order for you to be able to treat them, you got to treat you. And I always sit here and I always tell people that self-care is the best care and self-love is the best love. And I mean, like, it does not take much. Like, for me, I can also say, I'm going to go ahead and hit a touchy subject. Masturbation, sex, that is still a form of self-care. Self-care. Like, I may not be having sex right now, but guess what? I still go and masturbate. Like, I'm not going to put a number on how often I do it a week, but I'm going to let you know this. I do it because there's so many different health benefits behind masturbation. I may not be having sex because I am protecting my energy and I don't want to mix my energy with anybody. But when I do masturbate, I'm helping my insomnia. I'm helping with my anxiety, my depression, my blood pressure, my stress levels. I'm actually happy. My self-esteem is good. Like, I did that. My body feels better. Endorphins kicked in. My body just feels right. But don't get me wrong, safe sex and healthy sex. If you are going to go ahead and do something like that and you're going to have it with a partner, make sure your partner is somebody who's not toxic. Because remember, you are treating yourself. So you want to make sure whoever you're going to treat yourself with or indulge in or lose yourself in, you want to make sure that they're also taking care of you as you are taking care of yourself. Because when you are mixing with that sex, you are making sure that you are mixing with somebody who is going to take care of you and your needs as you are still treating yourself. Because you got to make sure that, you're not having trash sex. Because it's still a possibility. You may think you're treating yourself. In all actuality, you might actually be selling yourself short. So make sure whoever you decide to have those moments with, that they are on the same page level. Also, cuddling. Cuddling is also a form of self-care. Some people don't realize that there is a lot of benefits about cuddling. Sitting here spending a moment with your partner and your fur baby, because you can cuddle with an animal, you can cuddle with your kids, but cuddling is actually an antidepressant. It's a natural antidepressant, and people neglect it. Yeah, it gets hot. Yeah, it's too much sometimes. Sometimes it's not one of those things, but right now in these winter weathers, these are the best time. You don't know how much you're helping somebody who may be having depression when you sitting here cuddling them, how much that makes you feel better and wanted and needed. One of those things that a lot of people neglect is that is still a form of self-care. And you ain't even gotta be intimate with somebody on that level of sex or masturbations, but you can, cuddle with them. You can go hang out with them. You can go to the movies with somebody, because as long as you are hanging out with people that you know is doing good for you, that is still a form of self-care. Because some people doing the same routine over and over again. They're going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, but they're not doing anything for themselves. And they keep telling themselves, I'm going to take some time to myself, but you're not really taking time. So when you are thinking about self-care and treating yourself, think about, what are you doing to treat yourself? Are you really taking time to treat yourself? What is stopping you from treating yourself right now? You can sit here and make yourself some food, get yourself a donut, go get yourself a cup of coffee, drink some water, wake up and stretch, or stay in bed all day. Are you treating yourself? That is the question I want to ask, and I want everyone to answer before we go into this Valentine's Day. I mean, I personally don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but for those who are celebrating Valentine's Day, what are you doing to treat yourself before you are able to treat others? Go into the week thinking that thought. And again, ladies and gentlemen, as I have been telling you guys over and over and over again, that self-care is the best care and self-love is the best love, and protecting your energy is the thing that we are here to do. And I want you guys to continue growing, and just know that you still need to take care of yourself and make sure you are protecting your energy. Again, this is Reiko with my Sunday detox. Again, your neighborly friendly witch. And I will see you guys next Sunday for the next episode right after Valentine's Day. Enjoy and have a wonderful week.